Last question, because we've gone way over. I do appreciate you hanging out. Why do you think it is so many former liberals are now leaving the left?
I mean, people switch parties and ideologies.
Not happening the other way around.
Is that right? Well,
wait, what? That's like partially why Joe Biden won. Like, I mean, they're not like, those people are not necessarily like leaving the right, but they're just not voting for the Republican candidate. This is the part that Uncle Jank was attacking Sam on Twitter for.
Right-wing pundit who joined a liberal network like Anna Kasparian announcing she's leaving the left. You know what I mean? Or Dave Rubin.
I mean, listen, if you want to say that these are like the intellectual pillars of...
No, certainly not. I'm saying something's causing an emotional rift that makes people not want to be on the left anymore.
Man, let me crack my knuckles and talk about how people are leaving the left and joining the right. It's called money. It is infinitely easier and probably way more welcoming and more rewarding to have an audience of dumb fucks that love you for saying the right things. Okay? If you do not have firmly held convictions that are born out of empathy, and that if you are not willing to take a metric ton of shit, both from the right and also in many instances from people who you thought were your allies, or even directly from the marginalized communities that you speak in defense of, you're not going to have a good time on the left, okay? Because there's nothing the left loves more than shitting on each other, okay? Nothing at all. I have been called a transphobe by trans people in the past. I've been called not sufficiently pro-Palestinian by pro-Palestinian people in the past. I've been called a misogynist by women. I have been called everything. And yet, here I stand before you, still unchanged, unyielding, not changing my perspective even a little bit, because I do not advocate for the civil rights and liberties of marginalized people because I want them to like me. I'm doing it because it's right. That's how it works. That's what it is. And I think that a lot of people, after years and years and years of doing this, sometimes get annoyed and want to go the more comfortable route. And the right will always welcome you, no matter what your background is. You can be a Haitian dude, and as long as you are a white supremacist, they'll say you eat cats and dogs, but they'll still welcome you with open arms while you are engaging in the process of doing white supremacist talking points. Do you think the right would actually welcome Muslim participants? They absolutely would not. Andrew Tate and Sneeko are two recent revert additions to the right. They are both Muslim. And yes, they are not just right-wing, they are far-right. Anyway, I got here because we were looking at the right-wing grift.
Listen,
let's finish this.
If you want to say that these are like the intellectual pillars of...
No, certainly not. I'm saying something's causing an emotional rift that makes people not want to be on the left anymore.
Well, I would suggest it's probably cash. I mean,
you think
like
Anna
you said,
Kasparian wanted money?
She said as much, as far as I know, in the past on TYT.
She said she would make more money by being not leftist?
I don't know if she said that. But I know that...
Wait, that's objectively a correct position. Like, not ascribing that to Anna Kasparian directly, but like saying that like you would make more money as a right-winger is correct. Like, that's correct. That is factually accurate. And I'm sure Anna has even said that in the past as well. Like, because it is correct. It is a much more comfortable territory to be a part of. You get unimaginable institutional protection unless you are literally straightforward, like recreating. I mean, dude, you know what, actually? You know what? Steven Crowder recreated the George Floyd execution to like belittle it and minimize it and make fun of it. He does like racist ass skits on a regular basis. He's not even funny. He's not even charismatic. And Daily Wire still wanted to give him a $50 million contract. Like there's virtually nothing you can do. I guess the one thing you can't do is just like be anti-Israel. That's like pretty much it. You can be anti-Semitic, but you can't be anti-Israel for the right. Because like, it's not like Candace Owens wasn't anti-Semitic when she got a job at the Daily Wire. She literally got a job at the Daily Wire. She was like, it's not like Ben Shapiro didn't know that when they hired her. They just didn't care. The thing that you can't do is just like be anti-Israel. I think that's it. Or just like openly be a Nazi. I think those are the two things that like get you actual penalties on the right. But beyond that, like you can make inferences, you can literally act, you can say 99% of the Nazi shit. Anna is anti-Israel though. Yeah, that's true. Anna is anti-Israel.
on her.
The only reason, for the record, the only reason why like the right doesn't like open overt Nazi rhetoric is because it fucks up the bag for them. Like they would not give a shit about Nazi rhetoric if Americans weren't openly primed into thankfully hating Nazis.
Show on TYT, they have she's complained about not making money. I don't know why she's
still on TYT. Like, aren't they going to lose members who are progressives?
I got to be honest with you, I don't really pay that much attention to like showbiz.
Like, where's a big right-wing pundit who joined a liberal network like Anna Kasparian announcing she's leaving?
Sam is absolutely right. Anna has said that on Michael Brooks' show talking about Dave Rubin. Here it is. Yeah, it's not shocking because it's correct. Yeah, I don't know what like Anna's personal motivations are in like how her perspective is shifted on a lot of these issues. I suspect it's probably from like, again, 20 years of advocacy on the left, on the progressive left, and like constantly getting shitted on by the left, and maybe like a traumatic incident that probably changed her framework on one particular issue that everybody harped on. And then once you let that reactionary demon in your mind, it's a scary thing. It just like starts overtaking everything else, you know? Like I think originally it was like crime and crime panic narrative that completely captured her attention, and then people were very annoyed with her for that, and then a lot of the trans panic stuff like also snuck in there, and then people were very mad at her for that as well. And now Majority Report tries very hard not to comment on TYT when people bring them up. Yeah, I only bring up TYT to defend Unc. That's my Unc, dude. At this point, Sam Cedars is a gross liar. Anna never says she wants to leave the left for money. When he's pressed on it, he claims ignorance. Then why did you lie about it? We've lost subscribers and money because we acted at a principle, something Sam wouldn't understand. I hate to see Unc on Unc violence like this. Here she talked about why. I don't really care. What is this? As someone on the inside with direct knowledge, I can assure you that Cenk is wrong and Sam Cedar is an absolute expert in losing money out of principle, lol. Yeah. Like I don't think it's like grifting necessarily. Like I think Cenk is genuine. I think he genuinely believes the things he says. And I say this as someone who talks to him personally and in private. You know what I mean? Do with that information what you will. Like I disagree with him certainly, but he is very similar to myself. He's like stubborn to a fault, which I think can be annoying at times when if you don't have the right mindset in your analysis on certain issues. All I'm saying is Cenk's giving is going to go hard this year, dude. Like you and nuclear energy? No, I'm much more receptive to nuclear energy. That's crazy. That's an insane thing to say. I just like openly recognize that I'm a Luddite and probably in the wrong with my assessment of nuclear energy than Cenk is with like crime panic shit, you know? That's crazy. Anna gave Matt Walsh props. Ew. That's gross. Does Chow honestly think the right wouldn't accept you with open arms if you joined the grift? I think it would take some time. But I mean, look at it this way, dude. Here, I'll give you an example that is like kind of drama, but like it'll help you understand this. Every single person that now is riding with Ethan Klein, every single one of them used to make fun of him all the time. They've called him heinous shit. They've ruined his life. They've made up insane conspiracies about him, right? And now they're all riding for him. Why? Because he has set his crosshairs on an enemy that they despise even more than Ethan. The switch to like being right-wing in one, not even across the board, because I'm not saying that Ethan's like right-wing across the board at all, but even a switch in one fucking point is enough for people to be like, dude, you're so based.